Right now at 6, the city of Portland is facing a massive budget hole of more than $20 million. The tough choices ahead for city leaders. Plus, why a Vancouver official says the city is making progress tackling homelessness.
I think it shows that all of the efforts are effective, they are working.
And the rule change to Multnomah County's Preschool for All program that has some parents worried their kids will be pushed out. Then, commercial pilots stunned by strange lights.
It's red in color, moving at extreme speed.
A KGW investigation into unexplained sightings in the skies over Oregon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanich. We begin at 6 with more trouble in the St. Helens School District. A communications consultant hired to help the district as it deals with an ongoing sex abuse scandal has resigned after the district found out he had a felony conviction for embezzlement. Thomas DeLapp, seen here in an interview from last week, resigned Monday. In a letter, he said his continued involvement would be a negative distraction. Education officials admitted there was no background check on DeLapp because he doesn't work directly with kids. The sex abuse scandal has been ongoing in St. Helens for weeks now. A current and a former high school teacher were arrested, accused of sexually abusing students, and the principal there also faces charges for allegedly not forwarding reports of sexual abuse. All three have pleaded not guilty. A board meeting that was already scheduled is set to begin here at 6:30. Our Catherine Cook is there and will have an update tonight at 11. Developing in Portland, city leaders are looking to make more than $20 million in cuts to balance the budget. City economists went over the numbers with us today. They're expecting a $27 million budget gap in the general fund for the fiscal year that starts in July. To make ends meet, most bureaus would have to slash spending by 8%. That would mean cuts to programs and staff. The city blames the shortfall on low property tax revenue. Less money is coming in because so many properties are either sitting vacant or have much lower property value than before the pandemic.
And when those are growing 1% like they did last year, it's really hard to make the math work out such that you can be adding anything and not cutting. And so the hope is that property taxes have hit the bottom and then we'll go back to the more 3 to 4% growth, and we can kind of move on from this low point.
On top of less money coming in, city economists say expenses continue to increase because of inflation, healthcare costs, and legal obligations. Right now, we don't know which programs might get cut. Initial proposals are expected next month, with the public getting the chance to weigh in at the end of February. We'll keep you updated. Now to the city of Vancouver, where one official says for the first time there's been a turning point and possible breakthrough. More homeless people are staying in shelters than living on the streets. Devin Haskins is live in Vancouver with more on what the city is doing and what the numbers are showing. Good evening, Devin.
Yeah, good evening, Christine. In a city, or in a report, end of year homeless report that the city's homeless response manager presented to the city council during a work session, it showed just that more people that are experiencing homelessness are living in shelters than on the streets. It's a change in numbers than what's previously been happening over the last several years. According to the latest 2024 count done over the summer, 522 people are homeless in Vancouver. That's just over a third of the homeless population in all of Clark County.
It is a lot of people to be living without shelter. You know, one person is a lot to be living without shelter.
Jamie Spinelli is the city's homeless response manager. She says while it's a large number, there is some good news.
We're starting to see, at least this year, a bit of a leveling off, which is it's a good sign. I think it shows that all of the efforts are effective, they are working. We just need more of it.
Those efforts include safe park areas and 4 safe stay communities throughout the city, temporarily housing 125 people. During a point-in-time count done in January across Clark County, homelessness increased in 2024 by 5%, while unsheltered homelessness has dropped a tiny bit, 0.4% compared to 2023.
From 2019 on, we had more people experiencing homelessness outdoors than indoors. So while it is still a lot, that balance has shifted. So this year we had more people experiencing homelessness indoors than outdoors.
Also countywide, a 43% rise in unsheltered families. Spinelli says most of that number are in Vancouver, and she says that's in large part due to Clark County having the highest eviction rate in the state, and says fixing the issue will take time.
You can drain the bathtub, but if the water faucet's still on, then you kind of always have that. So we're trying to address it from all angles.
City of Vancouver is also set to announce 5 new winter shelters. 3 of those will be severe winter shelters, and then 2 of those will be overnight shelters that they'll keep open through March. They're also in the process of building out and planning a 150-bed shelter they hope to open by 2026. Christine.
Devin Haskins reporting live from Vancouver for us this evening. Thank you, Devin. Now let's get to some of your other headlines tonight. We now know the identity of the man Vancouver police shot and killed in a Safeway parking lot last week. Police say when they approached 45-year-old Adam Gunderson, a fight broke out between him and officers. Police say he pulled a gun, and that's when an officer shot him. Gunderson was taken to the hospital where he died. A total of 3 officers are on leave. 2 of them saw the shooting. And ODOT says it'll be breaking ground on the Rose Quarter I-5 improvement project as early as next summer. The agency has set aside $250 million to go with existing funding and a federal grant for a total of $850 million. That's short of the estimated $1.9 billion price tag, but enough to get the project moving. Final plans include widening a 1-mile stretch of I-5 north of the I-84 interchange and making additions to reconnect the historic Albina community. More developments in the saga of the proposed grocery mega merger. Now, Albertsons has filed a lawsuit against Kroger. Albertsons says it didn't do enough to make the nearly $25 billion merger happen. The company wants billions of dollars in damages from Kroger. The companies proposed the merger, saying they needed to join forces to compete with bigger retailers like Walmart, Costco, and Amazon. They proposed selling off nearly 200 Safeway, Albertsons, QFC, and Hagen stores in Oregon and Washington to try to minimize antitrust concerns. But the FTC, along with the attorneys general of several states, including Oregon and Washington, sued to block it. Yesterday, a federal judge in Portland paused the merger and kicked it to the FTC for final approval, while a Seattle judge blocked the merger from happening in Washington state. Matt?
All right, Christine, thank you very much. You know, we had a pretty good day today. Quite a bit of sunshine, of course, before it got dark, which it is right now. Still not raining in Portland. East winds still with us if you are in East County or in the western part of the gorge. You see this. East winds at Portland, 23 miles an hour. Troutdale, calm to the west of I-205, basically. Out of the gorge, though, they're really ripping. In fact, the gusts out there again today, not quite 70 miles an hour, but close at Crown Point. Corbett, 64. Troutdale, 43. And the Glen Jackson Bridge had a gust of 30. But these are down a bit from yesterday, especially the I-205 bridge. Yesterday, it clocked a gust of 50 miles an hour. Now, the wind forecast shows the winds in the gorge backing off tomorrow. Then they pick up again a little bit on Friday as the next system approaches us. The winds on the coast will be the strongest, but even there, only about 30, maybe 35 miles an hour. So not looking at any damaging winds or anything too impactful from that. But what will impact us tonight, in fact, very soon, is rain. It's moving north across western Oregon, just about reaching into the Portland area now. So expect wet weather tonight. This will be light rain, nothing heavy coming our way at all. In fact, even down on the south coast where it's been raining a lot longer, not even a quarter of an inch there, but now 1/100th of an inch has fallen at Salem. So it's getting closer. So look for rain overnight, a little break tomorrow evening into early on Friday morning, then heavier rain Friday night. And again, windy at times on the coast. The latest on all of this, Christine, in a bit. Back to you.
Appreciate you keeping tabs on it. Thanks, Matt. For many parents with little ones, childcare can be expensive. Multnomah County has tried to help with its free preschool for all program, but now a big change may mean fewer kids can access it. Celine Stevens spoke with the county today to learn more about what's going on. Celine?
Christine. The county's Preschool for All program will be implementing some of those changes in the next school year, 2025 to 2026, and this includes seat caps. So this will all be to meaning a maximum of 50% of total open seats at any program site can be reserved for those currently enrolled at the site who are also not already a part of PFA. Remaining seats must be made available to new families. So now this only applies to center child care, meaning providers that offer care at a center. It does not apply to preschools offered by providers inside their homes, which is classified as family child care. Preschool for All is a county program that was passed by voters in 2020, funded by a personal income tax on high-income earners. Some parents are concerned about a lack of accessible sites for their children to attend or their kid being disenrolled. But the county says it's not as big of a threat as it might seem.
There are 3,000 slots that are allocated for the upcoming school year, at least. And of those 3,000, only 6 have chosen to reduce their slots because of this policy so far. We save the revenue and we invest the revenue each year to expand our Preschool for All capacity.
And so the maximum seats of the continuity of care seats are expected to decrease in the next few years, and the goal is to have universal preschool by 2030. Back to you.
Thank you for updating us on the program. Thank you, Celine. Oregon lawmakers will be gathering tomorrow afternoon for what's expected to be a brief special session. It'll be focused on how to pay for firefighting associated with this year's record wildfire season. The bills have really stacked up to a lot of money. Lawmakers are expected to pass a funding bill that would give the Oregon Department of Forestry $192 million and the state fire marshal's office $26 million. The money will pay for current bills and reimburse the agencies for money that was already paid to contractors and others. Veteran firefighters say the seasons are getting much worse.
When I first started responding to large-scale conflagration fires, one theme was consistent. We went to Eastern Oregon. Slowly, we started responding to Southern Oregon, and then we saw an increase in large fires in Western Oregon.
The federal government is eventually expected to cover more than half the cost of fighting the fires, but the governor and lawmakers want the money to go out now. Tonight on The Story, where a committee thinks money should be coming from in the future as they study the cost of firefighting in Oregon. Again, that is coming up at 6:30.